Hi, I'm Richanda, and so I'm going to be doing a video about a few questions that someone has. So they're actually pretty interesting. They're not some like weird perverted stuff, so yeah, okay. So he says, I would like to remain anonymous if you make a video. Well, I always leave people anonymous, so yeah. Okay, so he says, I'm writing to you as you seem to be very respectable and intelligent. So I value your opinion. I was just wondering on your opinion on a few things. I frequently debate with friends of mine about these issues, and I'm hoping to get another opinion. Okay, so the first part is, so one of my beliefs is although the woman carries the child, she should not therefore be granted powers over the father of the child. I do, however, appreciate that if a man wants an abortion and the woman does not, then the woman should not be forced, obviously. But is it fair to force a man to support the child if he did not want it? Yeah, I mean, him supporting the child doesn't go towards the woman, it goes towards the child. It's not for the woman. And if he really didn't want a child, then he could have just not had sex. Refrained from sex or whatever. Because everyone knows that having sex, there's always a risk of a baby. Even with protection. Okay, so then he said, as if a woman wanted an abortion and the father did, as if the woman wanted an abortion and the father did not, then. Okay, so now he's asking about if a woman wants an abortion and the father doesn't. And he says, at least in my country, you know, I think they would not be allowed to, despite, they would be allowed to get an abortion despite the father not consenting. So I think I messed this up a little bit with that part, but pretty much he's saying, if a woman wants an abortion, the father doesn't, and how they let them in where he's from. So they do the same thing here. It is unfair. It's not fair at all. I mean, 9 months really isn't that long. It flies by, so you would think almost that the woman would just do it for 9 months and then give it to the guy and she could pay child support or something. I don't really know. But there was a court case out here a long time ago, probably like 20 years ago. And a guy actually went to court because he wanted to keep the baby and the woman didn't. But the court granted her the right for an abortion type thing. So she ended up getting an abortion and he didn't get to keep the baby. But it's kind of unfair. The woman gets to pick to keep it, but a man can't pick to keep it in a way. Even though it's her body, it's still both your child. So the next part is, so while the woman is carrying the child, I think they get some sort of higher value of opinion than the father. But once they're born, do you agree that the man and the woman are both equal? Yeah, I think they're both equal. So in a divorce court, the woman would not be much more likely to get custody of the children by default. Okay, well, in Canada at least, the men often get custody. They're kind of getting away from just the mother getting custody right away and making it more equal, which is good. They don't just give the child to the mom now. So I've heard like mothers talking to their child about how much of a loser their dad is. And actually, I'm sure even dads do it, I just haven't heard it. And it's not fair to call the child's other parent down. It just doesn't work that way. You may have those hateful feelings, but you don't say it to your kid. It's not fair to say stuff like that. And it kind of bothers me when parents say that. I know some mom who does that about her kids' dads, and it's like, well, you picked them, not me. And it's funny because sometimes when the woman calls the men down too, the man is actually the better parent. So he says, just your general opinions and views on this would be splendid. Considering the length of this email, I think I'll cut it short now. Thank you for reading. If you want more questions such as this, I'm happy to mail you with more. yeah, sure. I'm always open for like video requests. Question type things. And yours were actually pretty creative. Like, there were some weird stuff or food video stuff. So yeah. And they said, I also apologize if you have covered this topic in another video. You have a lot. I've not had a chance to watch them all. Yeah, there is a lot. And no, I haven't covered this. And then he said, kind regards. And then his name. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh yeah, okay. And so the foot requests, I don't actually mean like they're weird. They're just less serious than this, you know what I mean? I hope you guys do. I use like the word weird and stuff to describe things that aren't actually weird. And it doesn't really work out sometimes. But yeah, I mean like this one's more serious and not usual, whereas the foot one is extremely usual. So yeah, but the foot requests are welcome too. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Bye.